Hey, everybody, and welcome to another Fuel the Conversation, a podcast for fuel people by fuel people. I am Freddie Riddler, and joined with me, as always, Mr. Kyle Sheehan. Kyle, how are we doing on this 30 days to our seminar type of day?
T minus 34. Is that the actual number there? 34 days? I think I counted something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
We don't have we need the doomsday clock to count down to the time of seminar, right?
Absolutely. I know it's crazy because our sponsors are emailing us, our customers are emailing us, everyone's just checking in. They're all like, where do we send our stuff? Do we have our room? Can you confirm our registration? It's just flooding our inbox, which is a great thing to have. So close of filling our seats. I think we have 4 open seats left. So if you're watching this, it might be too late to sign up because it takes a few days to publish this, but I hope to see you all at our seminar. So, Kyle, why don't you do some introductions of this specialized podcast today?
Yeah, so we brought in some of the people that are coming down to our customer seminar to meet all of our amazing customers coming to the seminar, to educate them through all of the sessions that we have, and to show their wonderful, beautiful faces off, right? That's what it's all about, is personal connection. So I'll start with our fuel support, 2 of our fuel support members coming on down to San Antonio with us. The first one, I believe she attended as an attendee for a couple years before. Did you ever attend as an attendee, Toni?
Nope.
You never did? Well, Toni Kurfman is with us. She's going to come down to San Antonio, grace us with her presence. Toni, say hi and maybe tell us where you specialize in here at RCC.
Hi, everyone. I'm actually part of the fuel support team, as Kyle had introduced me as. I am part of the senior support group. I specialize more in the accounting side of things. So I do a lot of the general ledger, accounts payable, inventory. I can do, I'm kind of capable of doing a little bit in everything, but I tend to gravitate more towards the accounting side of RCC service pack.
Everybody's favorite subject, by the way.
Yeah, I can already see people writing your name down on this is the person I got to talk to in that seminar. And then another fuel support person coming down to San Antonio, Sam Elliot. Sam, share with us, how long have you been with RCC and what areas do you specialize in?
I've been here in September. It'll be 10 years. And I'm primarily specialized more on the error troubleshooting side of things. It's kind of like Toni. I know a bunch about a bunch of different things, but unlike her, she's on the accounting number side. I'm more on the system error. Why is this not doing this, and how do I fix it, kind of thing. I'm in the lead group as well. And yeah, I basically just do a little bit of everything. Just depends on what's in the queue.
And you also work some little bit of odd hours, don't you, Sam? You offset a little bit to make sure we're covering our West Coast users out there and we're getting them the support they need at the end of their day as well, right?
Yep. I work 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Central Time, which is 8 to 5 Pacific.
Awesome. So you're in for a shock when we have an 8 a.m. class in San Antonio.
Yeah, I might be awake for that. I'll be there. I promise.
And then last but not least, we have a member of our Mogo support team coming down to train the office on how the drivers make mistakes and give them headaches throughout the day. George Ebbers, how long have you been with RCC and what areas do you specialize in?
I've been with RCC a little over 8 years now. Main focus, I tend to do a lot of the installs, on-site installs is kind of my passion. I love being on site, working with our customers one-on-one. But I'm also, here I've been doing a lot of testing with the new version Mogo 4. Can't wait to roll that out. I know people who've been at the Northeast show have seen it. I can't wait to show it to everybody else. A lot of work been put into it, and it's going to be very good for everybody, I think, to see it and get on it.
That's amazing. So, Toni, how long have you been in the propane industry?
It'll be 19 years come June.
Just quick math, that's almost 40 years of propane industry just between the 3 of you that's coming to our seminar. I just want to highlight that. That's awesome to hear that. And I hope our customers enjoy that and respect that. When we bring staff to the seminar, we bring, a variety of people, but this year we're bringing 40 extra years with us. So it's very exciting. It's fun. And just a real quick brief history. when Kyle was talking about the attendee versus a trainer, you used to work for a marketer or a propane company that we serviced as a software provider, and now you're kind of going as a trainer. Real quick, what is that like? Not actually sitting and learning, but actually training.
It's actually kind of fun to be on this side of the table because I have the unique ability to understand what their vantage point is like, but then also understanding what our vantage point is. So I can give that extra little insight to the customers to say, I understand, your pains and the things you love and don't love about it. But then I can also then add to the back end side of it. So it's quite a unique experience.
Let's ask the question of all three. How prepped are you, and how high is your anxiety level going in front of 150 people? We know Freddie's, he already has his countdown going. Sam, let's start with you. How are you feeling about going out and training? And, it's a little bit different. We're in such a heavy virtual environment now. Getting up and speaking in front of 150 people, I don't want to see you run away. But how are you doing? You all prepped and ready to go and give the people what they want?
Not at all. I was telling Tony I'll be prepped when I get off the plane, and that's usually how I work. I'm real last minute, seat of the pants. I mean, honestly though, overall I feel pretty good about it. I don't have a problem speaking in front of people. I've been doing most of this for 10 years, so it's not anything super new or anything like that. I mean, I'm sure it'll kick in real heavy once I'm actually standing up there in front of everybody. But as far as the overall, like, am I ready for it? I'd say absolutely.
Awesome. Well, what I heard there is any attendee that's listening, come prepped with questions for Sam. Knock him on his first session to his last session, question after question. George, how about you? You got all the demo kits ready to roll, all of the mobile hardware presentation, all the way through to the upload, all ready to rock?
We're working through it. Yep. Getting the demo kits ready here. We'll be shipping out here in a couple weeks. Big thing that I'm really trying to focus more on is the forecasting side of stuff. Obviously V4 is going to be a big picture as well for as far as the Mogo side. But I think, the bread and butter of RCC has always been the forecasting. So I really want to, hit on that, get in depth, trying a different approaches here. Doing more of a case study type educational piece rather than just saying this is how it works, then go out and do it. We're going to actually do some real, examinations on the fly so people can, see and understand how they can do this themselves.
Awesome. And I won't even ask you, Tony. I know you're prepped.
Yeah, it's kind of my middle name, isn't it? I think I'm like Sam, where I tend to kind of fly by the seat of my pants. But the lovely thing about this is we're not alone in it. So even if there's an area that maybe I don't know quite as much, there's usually a partner we have with us that can help fill in the gaps. So it makes it a much more seamless transition. Plus, I find that most of the customers, they're like family to us. So it's really like you're just talking to, additional family members. So you don't have the high stress level of it being just complete strangers in a room that you're talking to, which I think also helps with making it an easier conversation all around.
That's a great point. And I know Freddie will say this too, is we plan this agenda out where Nancy and Freddie are so much better about getting us that 12 to 18 months in advance. But once we're in the thick of it, that all goes out the window, right? Here's the next question. Here's the hot button item that people really need to know. We need to spend the extra 15 minutes there because there are great questions. So that's what I personally love about the seminar is you do all this prep work, you get to that first day, you have that first deep breath let out of the anxiety's gone and I'm in the moment now. And then all that planning really kicks in and we're able to modify and adjust right on the fly and really hit the topics that need to be spoken towards.
It's kickoff. I call it the kickoff. Everybody is jacked like the Super Bowl. It's the week beforehand. There's celebrations, there's parties, there's musicians, and then that morning you wake up and there's tailgating and there's excitement. And the minute they kick the ball, it's like it's officially on, and it does. There's audibles, and you hit on that. And Nancy, I apologize for saying this in the nicest way possible, but there has to be audibles because when you get there, people will direct us in the path. Yes, we'll stick to the agenda. Sorry. But you'll catch us saying, hey, I have a quick last minute audible. And that brings me to my next conversation point is how much it has changed. It's crazy to go back. Nancy's doing a great job putting together the program guide. And she found some historical information about when Brian Sheehan, the founder of RCC, started this 27 years ago. It was 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. That was the first seminar. And this year is our first year doing it with 4 days. So it's only fitting that Brian's retirement party at the Menger Hotel in San Antonio, Texas in June for the seminar, it's only fitting that we make one more audible to Brian's plan 27 years ago to say we can fit 4 days in. And we didn't know how our customers would react, but they're loving it. So with that being said, that's why we have so many RCC staff that goes, because it takes all of us and we're on all day long and there's so many conversations that are happening. So one of the things I wanted to ask the three of you is 4 days, how do you mentally prepare yourself for 4 days of off the wall questions? Because you all have your items you're going to train on. So this is a 2-part question. First, give me your top 2 subjects that you're going to train on. I know George already said forecasting and MOGO, but we can say it again. But give me just the top 2 of your training sessions that you're most excited about, and tell me how you mentally prepare for nonstop Q&As, waking up, doing the seminars, talking in the hallways, talking at lunch, talking at receptions. What is something that you're going to be working on to kind of get yourself excited for the 4 days of training? And I'll start with you, Sam.
Lots of coffee, lots and lots of coffee. That's it, really. No, it's just mainly just what I do anyway. Because usually when I'm on the phone with a customer, I mean it's constant back and forth. Okay, do you well, is there anything else you have questions about? So it's more. I don't think it's going to be that much different for me, other than, like you said, it's just going to be face to face. And the 2 things I look forward to presenting on the most probably would be the hub and cash receipts, and maybe smart meters once I know a little bit more about those.
George, we'll kick it over to you. What's your top 2 and how do you mentally prepare yourself?
I'd say, yeah, like as I mentioned before, obviously MOGO, it's kind of my bread and butter, especially version 4. I've spent a lot of time in it. So I'm really excited to show everybody what we've done. And then the forecasting piece, I've been learning and putting a lot of time into educating myself on that. And hopefully we do some really good training that way. As far as mentally preparing for 4 full days, the biggest thing obviously is just, trying to stay healthy and then just taking it one day at a time. Take the questions as they come. Don't try to focus on one thing too much and just be ready to roll with the punches. You got to be flexible. So I got to be like Gumby. When I was in the military, they always said, be flexible. So Gumby was kind of our mascot when it came to that.
Anybody who's watching this right now, everybody that calls George Gumby at the seminar, you'll get a $2 bill. Just saying, I got them ready. So I hope you're watching. Toni, what about you? Same questions.
So of course, it's an obvious answer on one of them. It's going to be in the accounting modules and the general ledger and end of the month and all of that. So I'm excited about talking in that field. And then, of course, like with Sam had said, the customer hub and cash receipts area will be fun. And I think it's because the 2 of us are going to be leading those. So we kind of tend to feed off of each other. So it'll be quite the experience, I think, for all of the customers at the seminar to see the 2 of us up there in the front. As far as the mental preparation side of things, I'm like Sam, coffee, coffee, coffee. I think that will definitely help with that, and maybe probably throw in a couple of energy drinks. But I also think it's when you can just take those times early in the morning or later at night where you can just take a breath, maybe not even talk at all, and just be in the moment. I think the more that you can be in the moment, the more that you appreciate, just the capacity of, like you said, where the seminar is now compared to where it was, and the ability for you guys to bring so many staff to be there to help with all of the customers. And we want to give them as much knowledge as we have, because the goal of all of this is to make everybody understand how to use the software best for their company's needs. And so that's the exciting part, is to know that we're out here helping other companies be able to grow their business.
Nobody mentioned mentally preparing their family. I don't need to mentally prepare. I need to mentally prepare my wife and kids for not having contact with me for 4 days. That's a bigger struggle, right?
No
So-
comment.
No comment. So we're going down to Texas. It's going to be June, right? So everyone wants to vacation in Texas in June. But in San Antonio and the riverfront, what are you guys looking forward to about the destination itself? Let's start with George. What are you looking forward to down in San Antonio, Texas?
I've been to San Antonio several times, but one thing I've never gotten to do was go see the Alamo. I really am excited to be able to go see that, since it's right outside the door of the hotel, pretty much. And then doing the Riverwalk, that's always a great time.
Toni, what are you looking forward to down in San Antonio?
Well, those two things that George mentioned are awesome things, but I'm actually kind of excited with us staying in a haunted hotel to see, because unlike you, Kyle, my children are coming with me, so I'm hoping maybe that will bring some spirits around, because they'll want to interact. So we'll see. We'll see if I can scare the bejesus out of my children while we're down there.
Nice. You got to order cardboard cutouts ahead of time, and you ship them to the hotel, so they're waiting when the kids walk in, right? And if their attitude changes, hopefully it's for the better as they're possessed when they go home. And what about you? What are you looking forward to?
It'll be my first time actually in Texas. I've been through Texas a lot of times, but I've never actually been like boots on the ground in Texas. So it'll be a new experience for me, and I look forward to the Riverwalk and checking out the hotel. And just kind of just taking it all in, and hopefully it won't be 120 degrees every day while we're down there, but we'll see. We'll see.
It's a dry heat, I've been told, though.
It was 102 degrees in San Antonio yesterday. So if that tells anything about what's going to be like in June, it's going to be amazing. That's awesome. Well, we're excited. Like I said, every year the seminar grows, it gets bigger and bigger. If you could see my window between Nancy and my office, we use whiteboard markers, and it looks like something from a movie with all of our notes. It takes a full years of planning, but what makes it super easy is having staff like you guys. And it really is, because it takes so much pressure off of Nancy and I to know that when we create the agenda and we have so many awesome people step up to the plate to say, I'll take this on, it's a great thing. Even knowing that we're live streaming the whole thing. So if you can't be in San Antonio, you can still watch it online real time. Toni from FRF Productions comes and he records it, live streams it. It's just a great 4 days of education. I have one last question for the three of you. I'm going to start with George this time. Why should, and it might be too late for this year, so we might be saying next year, but why should our customers come to our customer seminar? Why should they be there in that seat, that on-site seat?
I would say my biggest reason to have a customer come is just the one-on-one interactions you get with the RCC staff. You're going to get obviously the general trainings, but then we have the round tables. We can sit down with you. You're going to get our undivided attention. And that is the main focus of the whole thing. You're going to get your questions answered, and you're going to learn a lot about RCC and Mogo that you probably never even knew existed.
Perfect. Toni, same question. Why should our customers be on site at our seminar?
I think another aspect of it too is just the networking with other companies that are in the same industry as you, and being able to find out how do they use the software, and maybe it could be an advantage to your company, or you can be able to share the advantages of how you use the software as well. So I find that networking between the companies also is a huge benefit to being on site.
And Sam, I know it's tough to be last because you just can't say I echo their responses, but we're going to try it anyways. Sam, why should our customers be on site?
I echo their responses. Well, yeah, a lot of what like George and Toni said, but yeah, the main thing is the face-to-face interaction. I think for me, especially just because a lot of times when you're on the phone, you got other stuff going on, and you may not be able to focus on that one or two questions that you have because you've got a customer waiting on you or whatever. So now we can actually sit down and hash out details. And if there's something I can't answer, then I can get, an answer from like Kyle or Tony or George, and we can, do that versus, oh, well, I'll try to get somebody to call you as soon as I can. So I think the face-to-face interaction is primarily what I'm looking forward to.
I'm looking forward to the in-between times, right? It's not the training actual amount of time, but it's that one-on-one connection that here's a problem that I have and we can help solve that before we leave today. Or that's an amazing point that needs to get brought up in front of the group. Why don't you ask that question? And don't forget to ask your questions, because we still carry on the tradition, my favorite tradition, the $2 bills, right? I've never seen it anywhere else I've ever gone. Dad started handing out $2 bills for wacky ideas, a wacky bill for a wacky idea, and that tradition's carried forward throughout the years and will continue to carry forward until they stop giving us $2 bills. There you go.
I got them right here.
Yeah. You're way more organized. I remember going into my dad's suit pockets and he'd just have wads of $2 bills just stuffed in between receipts in there. So thank you guys so much for coming to the seminar and adding that extra level of expertise, of different voices to hear, different faces to see every year. We appreciate you all so much for taking the time away from your personal lives for an entire week, coming down and immersing yourself in the RCC experience at the customer seminar.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thanks for having us.
Yes. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you for joining Kyle and Freddie's podcast, Fuel the Conversation.
A podcast for fuel people by fuel people. We really hope you enjoyed today's topics and you found them interesting, and we hope that you pulled some value out of our conversation today.
To hear more podcasts from Kyle, myself, and special guests, you can catch us on Spotify, Amazon Music, or the iTunes Store.
To find out more information on RCC, you can visit our website, www.rccbi.com. You can also find us on Facebook under Rural Computer Consultants, also under LinkedIn under Rural Computer Consultants, or go ahead and give us a follow on Twitter at RCC Inc. 79.
If you'd like to contact us directly, email us at sales@rccbi.com.
This is Kyle signing off.
And this is Freddie.
Until next time.